All right, hey everybody. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with our warm-up, and then for this workout, you're gonna need a ball. So this is all ball. We're gonna do quite a bit of core and legs on it. But for now, let's roll that to the side, and let's start with our dynamic warm-up. You're gonna put one foot out in front, you're gonna put one foot out in back. Now everybody's foot's gonna wanna do this. Heels on the ground, foot turned out. Now I want to keep that up on my toe, keep it nice and straight. From here, I'm stretching this back leg, not the front leg. I'm going to put my hand on my back butt cheek, and I'm going to squeeze it forward, and your knee's going to want to bend when you do it, but don't let it. Squeeze it forward, and I want you to work on turning your hips straight, because I guarantee they're going to be turned away. Turn straight, and you should be able to pull all in that back hip, the quad, everything between the knee and the hip bone. And keep squeezing it forward all the way. From here, you're going to lean all the way to the side. Lean away from it. Feel it travel to the outside of the thigh, maybe the hip bone. And let's tilt inwards towards it. And then open up that front knee. So front knee gets pulled to the side. Open up those hips. Feel a pull in the inner hip now. Keep squeezing that hip forward. Keep that back leg straight. Stay on that toe. Don't be turning your foot as you do it. Hold it nice and still. Good, good, good. And from here, plant your back foot and actually bring it closer. You're gonna bend your back knee. Now we're gonna stretch this front leg. I'm gonna shift my hips back just like so with the flat back. I'm not hunched, so that's how I get out of the stretch. Flat back, booty back, and then bow forward. And everybody's gonna be shifted on the outside of the foot. Press that big toe down in front. This leg is the one I'm stretching, and I feel it go hamstring down to calf. And I want to make sure I'm not turning to get away from it. I'm just going to sit with this stretch. About 20 more seconds. Push that big toe down. Make sure you're not shifting on your foot. That back leg is bent. I know you can't see yet, but we'll hear soon when we switch. All right, good. Let's come out of it. All right. Let's stretch out that other hip flexor. So take that other leg all the way back. You're going to be heel toe, bent straight. So from here, hand on your back butt cheek, turn your hips straight. You're going to squeeze that booty cheek forward. So squeeze your hips forward, straighten that back leg to pull it nice and tight. And if this isn't quite enough yet, drive that front knee forward just a little bit. But you're not up on your toe, you're on your heel on the front leg. You just want to sit with it. I feel mine right here between my torso and my quad. So hip flexors. Some feel it more down in their quad. Good. You want to make sure you're not arching your back real big, because then you're just going to feel pain in your back. Let's go ahead and tilt away from it. Still squeezing the hip forward. All you do is tilt to the side. Make sure you don't start leaning forward. Feel it travel. And hold this back leg as still as possible. Everybody's going to try and move to get out of it and adjust. All you do is just tilt straight to the side. And let's tilt to the inside now. And then open up that front knee, take it outwards, and open up those hips. Squeeze that hip forward still. Feel it travel the inside of the thigh, feel a nice burn in this front leg. This is a dynamic warm-up. It's a mixture between an exercise and a stretch. Good job. Because you never do harsh, pure isometric stretches without a warm-up. You need to make sure your collagen is nice and warm so it's nice and pliable. All right, let's hit that other stretch. Oh, what was it? All right, let's bend that back knee, straighten that, bend the back knee, straighten the front leg. You're gonna shift your hips all the way back. Stay on this heel on the straight leg. Shift hips back, make sure you're not turning to get away from it. Bow forward, sit with it about 20 seconds. All right, good job, good job. So, some of you might not be able to do the stretch. We're going to do a quick quad stretch once you find something to hold on to. Now, for everybody else that has pretty easy access to the heel to butt stretch, that's what you're going to do. You're going to kick your heel to your butt, just like so. But for people who maybe struggle with this one and need a modification to get there, and maybe you can't do this one. If so, I'll have a modification for you. You're going to bring your knee to your chest, towards your chest. kind of bring it out to the side, just a little bit. Take your hand, run it down, and then you have a good grip on it. You can also always put a band on your ankle and kind of hoist it up if you need to, or a towel or something. Now from here, everybody's going to want to do this and this. I want you to put your knee by knee by knee. Now squeeze those hips forward again. So squeeze those hips forward. Look at that, my heel's not even on my butt anymore, but I feel a harsher stretch. I'm creating the stretch. Squeeze it all the way forward. Good, all right, let's drop and switch. Knee to knee. Kick that heel up, however you need to get to it. Pull that hip nice and tight. Squeeze. The hips forward. Chest out, don't hunch into it. Think about pulling your front side as tight as possible, knee to knee. Make them touch. I don't want to sit like this. Squeeze that hip forward all the way. Push the hips. Good job. Now if you needed a modification for it, this is generally how you would do it. And if you don't, you can just fast forward the video. So if I'm laying on my couch, something like this, I'd want a leg, hang one leg off, lay on the ground. I'm going to take that leg back just a little bit. I'm going to drop my heel towards the ground and kind of push my knee down towards the ground. Now from here, I'm just arching my back a lot, so I don't really feel much. I'm going to push my back flat, so there's a big hole under me. I'm going to press it down flat as I push my knee down too, so my knee goes down, pressing flat, and I feel it pull all of my quad down. Okay? So if you need that modification, pause the video and do that. Hold it for about a minute each leg. All right. Last stretch. I want you to find a corner somewhere. Put your elbow on something, corner, or you can use a wall. Then put your palm directly under your elbow. Don't do this, don't do that, and don't do this like everybody's going to do. You want your palm and your elbow in alignment. From here, all you're going to do is turn away. You can step forward a little bit, that's fine. You're going to feel it pull all through here. You want to stay pretty close to that wall or corner or wherever you're at. Scoot a little closer, slide your hand halfway up. And slide it all the way up. And if you're having any pain in your shoulder as you do this, depress your shoulder, meaning instead of my trapping up to me here, I'm going to pull my shoulder downwards, and I'm going to start to apply pressure with my palm and my elbow into the pole. And it's going to deepen the stretch a little bit, but it's going to fortify it because it's flexing. Okay, and remember on this one, we never start lower than a 90. We always start at a 90. There's no such thing as too high. There is such thing as too low on this one. All right, let's hit the other side. 90 degree, turn away. Scoot closer, halfway up. Pull the shoulders down as you do it. Your arm goes up, your shoulders go down. Your shoulders don't need to take your arm up too. And all the way up. Scoot closer. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, we're going to start with some legs on this ball. God help you. Alright, endless legs. So, we're going to prime up the back of the legs. I want you to roll out on your ball just like so, to where your low back and your butt are off the ball. I don't care what you do with your hands, anything is fine. Now you're going to drop your butt down. Now, I want to make sure my back is flat as I do this, because a lot of times people come up and just arch the hell out of their back, and then I feel the pressure all here in this arch and not that much in my butt, booty, and legs. It deactivates. So I want to make sure I'm not arching. I'm going to come down, deep arch in my back, see how I'm rounding to that ball, tuck my hips, now I'm flat, and I'm going to come up all the way, and I'm like a tabletop now. And when I drop my butt, I don't go back into that arch. I drop my butt straight down and it sits me up. And from here, I push straight back up and it sits me flat on that ball. And I'm squeezing my hips up instead of squeezing my back up. Okay? I want to work on feeling the glutes and hamstrings. Let's go. 1 minute. 3, 2, hip bridges. And go. pull those knees nice and wide. Make sure your feet are straight. Squeeze your glutes up, not your back. Now this is a bridge, but it should be called tabletop. You want to make sure you are nice and flat from your shoulders to your knees where they bend. Your back should not get up the highest. Should be all of it. Good, keep squeezing those hips up. You're almost to a minute, and then we're gonna hold 30 seconds. Oh hell, let's just hold a minute when we're done. Do what you can, forever and always. Don't compete with anybody other than yourself. 5, 4, 3, 2, up and squeeze. Squeeze those glutes up and push your ribs down. So my ribs are flared here, I feel it in my back. Push those ribs down. It's where you feel your core engage and your butt engage. Keep squeezing. This is lovely. 40 seconds. Keep squeezing those hips together. You should have a raisin butt. No more plump, juicy grape. If you want a plump, juicy grape butt, you gotta go through the raisin butt phase. You squeeze it until there's nothing left but wrinkles. Woo, we're almost there. 25 seconds. I really know how to sell a workout with a raisin butt. Woo. Squeeze those hips up. Oh, butt cramps. Woo. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6. Hips up. 5. Knees wide. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, lordy, lordy. We're going to need to do a butt stretch at some point. Damn. Good job. All right, so a lot of times in a squats, people feel them in their quads, and it really has to do with what muscle is stronger, what is weaker, and most times quads are stronger, and it also has to do with how you position your weight in the move, the mechanics of the move. So I want to keep my squat in a little bit of both. I want it to be hamstrings and butt, and a little quad, and strengthen those knees. So I want to sit not directly on top of my ball, because I definitely don't want my calves and hamstrings making full contact. I want to kind of roll off of it just a little bit to where I'm not sitting directly on top. From here, I'm going to bring my feet under me, kind of like a 90-degree bend or a little more. And watch this. Shoulders back, tuck your hips, shoot your hips back. When you do that, drag your feet back until it feels pretty comfortable. So, I'm in a straight line. Now, the second you look down, your shoulders are going to do this. I don't want my elbows anywhere near my thighs when I do this. I'm going to pull my knees as wide as my feet are, make sure my feet are straight. All I'm going to do, my knees stay in this same spot. I'm going to sit my butt up, but not to where that ball's going anywhere. My butt's still on it, but I'm not sitting on it. I'm going to ease it down until I'm not sitting relaxed. But I just sit down, up, down. I'm going to show you at an angle so you can see both. Good, hips back. Knees and feet wide, up, down. We're going to start this for a minute, then we're going to do a hold. Good. All right, let's start in 6, 5, 4. Get it set up, hips back, feet by the ball, shoulders down and back, and start lifting. Butt up, butt down. Now what you need to watch for, and I'll show you a demonstration of core mechanics, is driving your knees forward. My knees should not be by my toes. I want to keep my hips back. Keep my knees back, keep it in the back of the leg, and I'm pushing with my heels, not my toes. I'm pressing with the outside of my feet and taking my knees wide. Pretty much the most uncomfortable burn position possible. Shoulders down and back. Don't look down, because the second you look down, you're going to pull your shoulders with them. Flex that core as well. I want you to squeeze your core as hard as you can. Keep it nice and flexed. Your core holds your posture. And the last thing you want to do is break your posture as you do this. Because then you're just going to feel it in your back. Oh, we're doing good. We got 6 seconds left. Up, down. Make sure you don't start compromising form. All right, and we're going to hold. Let's go. Hold. Oh, lordy, lordy. You need to come down at any point, take a break. That's fine. Just go right back up into it when you're ready. We're going to hold the hardest point of the move, so you're not sitting on that ball, but you're also not all the way up. All right, we're gonna start changing it up now. I want you to lean far forward with the flat back. Shift your hips all the way back like you're straightening your legs. And then come back to normal. Knee bend, posture it up straight. Neutral position. Hips back all the way. Shift your weight into your heels like you're trying to stretch back your legs all the way up. Keep rocking. You have 20 seconds. Now watch this. Deep knee bend on the toes. Rock back onto the heels, hips back. Deep knee bend on the toes. Rock back, hips back. Knee bend on the toes. On the heels, hips back. Rock back and forth. Pull those knees wide. And done. Woo! Good job. I hope you felt that in everywhere. From here to here. If you felt that in the back, you need to personally message me, and we'll talk about why you're feeling that in your back. We might need to work on the mechanics of it, or you could have something going on. Woo! Well, that was hard. Alrighty. All right, you're gonna need to find something to hold on to for this next one. So definitely want something to hold on to, because we're really going to be challenging your balance. Now I'm going to show you modifications for this as well. You're going to put your foot on the ball. You're going to kind of roll it back a little bit, and I just hop into this. All right. So all I'm going to do from here, I'm going to do a split squat, or also known as a lunge. So technically squat is a half a lunge. Now everybody's going to want to do this. And I'm going to drive my knee all the way forward until I have a busted kneecap. Don't want to do that. So we're going to work on those hip hinges. I want to make sure I'm in a straight line. So it's a good thing if I use your camera on your phone or computer when you're doing this, or a mirror, so you can see what your form looks like. I'm not doing this. I'm not arching my back. I'm not doing this. I'm nice and straight. I turn my hips straight. Now I'm going to push my hips out and back all the way. I'm going to load up this front heel, and I'm going to take my knee wide. So when I say load up your front heel, I don't mean your toes are off the ground. I mean your toes are there to stabilize it, but your pressure is going to go into your heels. Okay? Now all I do from here is shift my hips back. Okay? So hips come back, hips come forward. And this is what we're going to work on, is hip hinging for the first 30 seconds. All right, let's go. Let's work on hip hinging. It's quite a workout. Stay under that heel, bend the knee in front just a little bit. Throw your hips back to where they're as far behind your heel as possible. And then hips forward. Squeeze your butt forward. Hips back, hips forward. You'll notice when you shift your hips back, you feel it in your butt and your hamstrings. 15 seconds. Now you might feel a quad stretch in the back legs. If so, bueno. And if that ball is going left and right, press your foot down harder on it. Make it stay still. 4, 3, 2. All right, watch this. You're going to hip hinge. And if you cannot do the knee bend on this, you're just going to hold here. And from here, bend the front knee, straighten the front knee. Bend the front knee, straighten the front knee, stay on the heel. Let's go. Don't let that knee come past your toes. Now when I come down, this knee hits the ball, and then it's off of it. You got 20 seconds. Keep going. Woo! 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Moan. Woo! Dear Lord, that burned. Start with my knee off the ball. So my knee's not on the ball. I'll hop, put my foot out front. All right. We're going to do that hip hinge for 30 seconds. 3, 2, squeeze your hips forward. Get your posture straight, and let's go. Hips back till I roll my knee back on the ball. Hips forward. Throw your hips far back behind this front heel. And this front knee stays slightly bent the whole time. Hips back, hips forward. Hips back, hips forward. Hips back, and you'll notice it makes you bow forward. You don't want to keep falling forward, but your hips can't go back any farther. So at that point, you're using your back. This is called a hip hinge. It's when you push your hips far back behind your heels and it makes you bend forward. And make sure you are not arching your back inward or hunching. Keep chin up, chest up, shoulders down and back. And let's go ahead and let's go into that lunge now. All right, drive the front knee forward, straighten it. Front knee forward, straighten it. Woo! Oh my God, my ass is on fire. Today your butts will graduate to asses, that's for sure. Woo! Lord knows mine is. And remember, if you cannot do the lunge, that's absolutely fine. You just hold wherever you feel a good burn and no pressure. Woo! My God! 5, 4, 3, 2, oh my gosh, 1. Good job, good job. Woo. All right, we've got a couple more moves for legs. We're gonna take it down to the ground. Let's go a little closer. Okay. Oh, I forgot actually. I do have one more standing up, and you can do this sitting down as well. I prefer to do them standing up, but I'll show you the ground version as well. So, what you're gonna do, you're gonna sit on your ball and straddle it. My feet are far back behind me. Now, depending on the size of the ball or your comfort with the ball, this might not be for you. And if you try it and you're all off balance, or maybe a degree of bend hurts your knees, I got a modification for you. You're gonna sit on there, you're gonna push your hips forward all the way, kind of like you're trying to create a fat roll right here. Squeeze your, and you'll notice when you push your hips forward, it'll squeeze your butt cheeks together too. It's a pelvic tilt. This flexes your butt and core, your stability points. All right, and all you're gonna do, pull your heels in. Can't even barely see my feet. And I'm gonna go squeeze. I pull my knees in, pull my hips forward, squeeze my inner thighs and my butt, because inner thighs and butt meet. It's gonna help me get all this inner thigh nice and strong and kind of right under my butt where my inner thigh and the back of my thighs meet. All I'm gonna do is pull my knees in, squeeze my glutes as I come forward. Just keep throwing those hips forward, and let's go 1 minute. While you guys go, if you need a modification, you're just gonna lay on your back, put that ball in between your knees, get a good grip on it, and squeeze. Squeeze. I like the feet off the ground, but I know a lot of people like their feet on the ground, and you're just gonna squeeze. Now, if you rotate your knees inwards and it hurts your hip, you're gonna have to get your feet off the ground and just squeeze that ball. Keep going, keep going. You've got 45 seconds left. Woo, 25 seconds. All right, good job, good job. Final squeeze, 15 seconds. Squeeze as hard as you can. No more pulsing. 10, 9, 8, squeeze that ball in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Damn, that was good. All right, guys. Early, last move for legs. You're gonna get comfortable, get on the ground. I'll give you a second to do so. I'll start demonstrating, get comfy. I can do this one of two ways. I'm gonna show you the first way. It's kind of more of a modification, it's a little easier. All you're gonna do bend your legs. My thighs are on the ball, my heels are on the ball, my calves are on the ball. I'm gonna tuck and squeeze, so I tuck my hips and I squeeze my core. I'm gonna lift, squeeze my butt, press straight up, and I can hold from here. Or, if it's a little hard, all I'm gonna do is just up and down, and as I'm doing this, I'm pushing my heels into the ball. I push my heels in to lift it up, so you'll feel it in calves, hamstrings, and butt. You can also, give me a second, this ball's a little big for this one. Lift up, curl under. Hamstring curl, lift up, curl under. You need a modification for this one though. Down, up, curl. Down, up, curl. Now when I bring my back down, my back touches, not my low butt. This is my low butt, it's off the ground. My low back touches, because if my butt's all the way on the ground, it means I have a deep arch in my back. It means I'm going to be working my back. And if you've got tight lower back, first thing you should do, go get a massage and get lots of them frequently to have your back soft. And that won't be a relaxing massage at all. And then you need to see someone about working the mechanics of your body to take that strain off your back, because it's daily things we do that do this. Woo! All right. Let's go. 1 minute. Woo! Just kidding. I'm not excited for these. Let's wait. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, fun, go. Keep that back flat. Remember, this is what you make of it. This might be the best you can do, or barely pick your butt off the ground. That's fine. You just do what you can. Oh dear Lord, 30 seconds. Ah, 15? Yeah, 15. Woo! 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, Lordy. No more of those. Oh, Lord, sucked. All right, guys. Catch the ball aside just for a second. We're going to hit some glute stretches, bar down, and we're going to go to core next. Oh. Bueno. Okay. Let's hit a good hamstring stretch. Now, let me show you the first one you're going to do for people who are very mobile. Put your feet close together, you reach up, grab your toes, and whop, happy baby. Grab your toes, make sure your ankles aren't going inwards or outwards, make them straight, and you reach straight up. It's a yoga move, it's pretty good. Okay, second move. If you can't quite do that, easiest thing to do, try and grab one leg, stretch it straight up, or if you can, both legs. If you're doing single leg, you'll need to pause the video to do the other leg, okay? And just get it, all you do, bring your knees to your chest, kick your legs up. So you want a slight bend. My legs are super straight like this and I have my toes flexed, it's gonna hit calves. If I have my knees bent and I go to straighten them without flexing my toes, hamstrings. That's how you get from calves to hamstrings. All right, let's go stretchy stretch. I hope you're holding it already. I don't know what's worse, the burn of an exercise or the burn of a stretch. I really don't. They're both supposed to do great things for you, but they feel like shit in the moment. Woo! Think about tearing those muscle fibers. We just tore the hell out of them working all those exercises. Now we're going to tear the hell out of them to build that muscle up with flexibility. Woo! 5, 4, 3, 2, good job. All right, from here, bring your feet down, put them together. Now pull your knees down, open up those hips. Now if you can't quite do this one, the easiest thing to do, put your feet together on the ground, let your knees fall all the way to the side, and you can even push them down like so. Now, if you feel it in your back, you know what to do. Push your back flat as you push your knees down. 20 seconds. If you ever want to stretch longer, you just pause that video. I encourage it. And if you have no flexibility and you exercise a lot, you should try something called intra-stretching. It's when you exercise a certain muscle group. So let's say I'm working butt. I do an exercise for butt. After my set of butt, I'm going to go and stretch it. I'm going to do a glute stretch. Then I'm going to go back to that exercise. Then I'm going to do a glute stretch. Back to that exercise. Do a glute stretch. So it builds that muscle up with limberness as well as muscle mass. All right. Oh, Lordy. All right, let's hit those quads real quick. I want you to get your feet as wide as possible. If you're on a mat, it's usually the width of your mat. Turn your feet straight. Flex your toes towards you. You're going to take both knees to the right. Now, if I took my knees to the right, my left leg is going to be what's stretching. I'm going to push that top knee down. I'm going to try and flatten my back. Now, normally when we're doing core and squats and stuff, I say flatten your back so you don't have uninterrupted energy flowing through your back, aka back pain in your arch or wherever is your weakest point. But in this instance, that pelvic tilt, that back flattening I do, actually creates this stretch. It pulls my quad tight. Because I can do this all day and feel nothing. As soon as I press that back flat and push that knee down, I feel the fires of hell in my quad. A little bit in my hip bone. All right, good job. Let's go to the other side. Flex that toe towards you, and we're going to hit core here soon. Press that back flat. Now, if you don't quite feel this, you can always take that leg out to the side and do a deeper knee bend. Oh, Lord. Woo, take that down there. Press that back flat. Push that knee down. Oh, yeah. Woo. Hell on earth is in my quads right now. Press that back flat. Push that knee down. Think about creating a flat as a board body. Woo. We do need to do one more back stretch to help our back a little bit. All right, so lay on your hip. You can bring both knees to your chest, or I like to do just one. Take your hand that's on the ground. Pin that knee down with your hand. Now my hand on top, I'm going to reach forward in front, and then I'm going to fall back, give a nice little back twist. Nice and slow, think about breathing into it. All right, good job. Let's flip over. Don't want to tight back for your core and legs. Got to stretch out that back. Cross that top leg over, pin it down with that hand. And forward, hang your head, and twist. Also, you should foam roll before and after your workouts, forever and always. Do it in the morning, do it in the night. Keeps that tissue nice and soft in your back so it doesn't start hardening and making things tighter and worse. Helps blood flow go up and down. And that's very important. That's your spine we're talking about. That's where your major central nervous system is. I mean, that's a big deal. That's when you have people's backs that are so tight they get bulging and slipping discs. They have pinched nerves. Very important to keep that tissue nice and pliable in your back. If you don't have that, you need to work on getting that. Good job. Oh, Lordy, Lordy. Okay. Let's start with core. Now, no ball to begin with. Okay. All right, back nice and flat. I'm going to go into a nice deep arch in my back, my no-no for our core workouts, but we're going to go into the opposite to help us get into a perfect pelvic tilt. Heels by your butt. There's a nice cave under me. I can literally put my hand under me. Now, all I'm going to do from here, I'm going to push my ribs down, roll my hips forward, then flatten my back. I can't get under there anymore. And I'll notice it picks my low butt off the ground, and I'm flexing my core super hard. It rounds my hips forward, and I feel it in my low core and a little bit in my mid-abdominals. Okay, and I'm going to round as hard as I can and flex it as hard as I can until I just feel it right here. We're just going to hold here for about 30 seconds, and I want you to work on rounding your hips. Tuck your hips like you're trying to make fat rolls. Do the motion you would do to make fat rolls. Squeeze your core, butt's still on the ground. My lower butt isn't because I grounded it off. But that's fine, don't pick your butt up. You want to keep your low back and the upper butt on the ground. Keep squeezing as hard as you can. Press your hands down in the ground and flex as hard as you can. Squeeze, shoulders down and back. Flex, flex, flex. Push that back as flat as it'll get on the ground. 3, 2, 1. Woo! There. Core's nice and warm. Let's go ahead and go with those exercises. All right. I'll show you one move and then I'll give you a modification. But once I show the first move, go ahead and start it, then I'll show the modification. All right, first move is just gonna be leg lifts. You're gonna come halfway down, keeping that back flat. I don't arch into it. Back flat, all the way up. Add a pop up, halfway down, woo, all the way up, pop up. Now this isn't a pop up. That's just you rocking. And it doesn't do shit, okay? So here, woo, halfway down, woo. Use your core to ease it down. Woo, exhale, back up. Exhale, back up. Modification for this, easiest one, keep your back flat, tap, rock your knees into your chest. Tap, rock your knees into your chest, okay? Do that no-no. You can drag your knees all the way in. Now, if you have a real hard time keeping your back flat, you just can't do it. You're gonna hold here and press your back down as hard as you can and work on that. If you're feeling it in your core, you're doing it right. If you're feeling it in your back, could be you're doing it right as well, but your back is stretching. Whew, is getting a good stretch out of this. You should still be going. You have 40 seconds left. 35. 20. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. You're gonna hold your legs up in 3, 2. Hold all the way up. Press your back as flat as you can. 15 seconds. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last 15 seconds. Hold them down just a little bit. Pressing your back flat. 14, 13, 12, 11, press that back flat. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, break. Holy hell. Woo, that sucked. That. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to show you the first move, and when I show it for you, you're going to go ahead and start your time on it, okay? So once you got the move down, go ahead and start. Then I will show the modification. And bear in mind, if you're doing the modification, it's also the move we are going to do next as well, so you'll get it twice. Woo! See, modification is really good. All right. So ball pass offs, you see this in every girl's Instagram post about how to get a six-pack ab and all this stuff. They don't have the secret ingredient, which is that pelvic tilt. But you do. All right, so you're gonna put that ball between your legs. You're gonna bring it down as far as you want. Back up, pass off. Tap, here. I like to keep my knees slightly bent because when I get my arms going as well, it makes it even harder to keep my back flat. Tap, grab, oh, it's so fun. What a party with the ball. Okay, so your modification, go ahead and go if you're doing that one. Modification, you're gonna press your back flat. You're going to drive your knees all the way into your chest, all the way to your core. You're gonna put that ball on your knees, but notice when I put the ball on my knees didn't go anywhere. And I'm going to push that ball into my knees with my hands, and I'm going to push my knees straight back into that ball. So I'm creating a push-pull. I'm pushing with my hands, and I'm pushing with my knees, and I'm squeezing the hell out of my core, and oh dear God. Woo! You can also pulse it as well. Keep your back flat. This is for people who have limited range of motion who can't keep their back flat. If you're doing anything right now, you've got 30 seconds left. Oh, isn't this great? gonna lie, if there was a couch right now by me, I might have to abandon this to get on the couch. Woo! 10. Woo. Feel that good core burn. Keep that back flat. Work on feeling in lower, mid, and upper. Because why not? Good job. Oh, lordy, lordy. Well, that was not very fun. Woo! All right, if you need a drink, go ahead and grab it now. If not, I want you to sit up because we've been laying down for a while. That blood flow gets real stagnant. Go ahead and sit up. That way when you go stand up, you don't get dizzy. Just sit up and let that blood drain. You need to go get a drink, but other than that, we're going to sit up for about 30 more seconds. Whew. Also, you want to work on diaphragmatic breathing. So, on the hardest part of the move, it's usually called the concentric motion. It's when you're going against gravity. That is when you want to exhale. So think about it like this. It's when the muscle contracts. So also know that when you exhale, the muscle contracts as well. So I want to pair those two together to get an ultimate maximum burn. I want to get all that oxygen out of that muscle to help it contract even more. So for example, the concentric motion of a move, of that leg lift I just did, a few minutes ago, this up is the concentric motion. I'm going to be going against gravity. And my leg's going down, I'm going with gravity. My legs want to go down. That's the eccentric motion. Okay, you should be 3 times stronger on that eccentric motion. Okay, I'm going to exhale, contract that core all the way, get all that oxygen out of there, take my breath. I'm going to come back down for the eccentric motion, exhale, and I scrunch up my core. So just know the difference. And on everything, on that hard concentric motion, or think about you contracting your muscles, that's when you want to exhale. So contract and exhale. Get all that oxygen out. Alrighty, righty, righty. Hopefully you are good and hydrated. Blood back down. We're going to go into the next move, which was the modification. So just let me show you one more time. You're going to drive your knees all the way to your chest. Your ball's not touching your knees. Slight flex of your toes towards you. I'm pressing my back flat. And then I'm going to push that knee, my ball on my knees. But when I push, my knees don't go anywhere. Okay? I want to push, and my knees stay right where they are. They're standing their ground. And I'm pushing with my hands down, and I'm driving my knee into that ball, and I'm holding. I'm just holding. Oh, Lordy. What a workout. All right, guys, let's go. 3, 2, 1, push. And we're just pushing. So you're creating your own resistance. This is like a plank, but somehow I think it's actually worse than a plank. But don't worry, we'll get to planks too. Those are on the menu. In case you really wanted to do planks, we have 2 different kinds, and you get to do both. Woo! This is great. Keep pushing. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax it. We're only going 30 seconds on that. Woo! We're going to do the other 30 seconds in 5, 4, 3, 2, and go. Drive those knees in. Push with the hands. Press the back flat. Rock those hips all the way in. Woo! Press the back flat. Oh, this sucks. Feel that lower core burn. Drive those knees in. Press with those hands back flat. Woo. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2. Relax it. Ah, Lord. Bueno. Couple moves left. Ooh. Feeling it. Okay, guys. A couple moves left. Now, this next one, you can use your ball for. And if not, the modification will be without the ball. And once you got that move down, you don't need the modification. You're just gonna go ahead and go right into it. Your time will start as soon as I'm done demonstrating the first move, and then I will demonstrate the modification. Okay, so what you're gonna do, put your ball kind of between your calves. I'm gonna make sure it's securely in there. Now I'm on my hip bone right now. I'm gonna have my arm out in front. First thing I'm gonna do is get this away from this because my clavicle, which is a part of your shoulder by the way, is getting a lot of pressure between here and here. I've got my weight going down on it, and I've also got the force of it from being on my elbow up. So I'm gonna kind of press up. I'm gonna use the muscles used for this move to press up and get the pressure off my clavicle so my shoulder is as far away from here as possible. Take that other hand, I'm gonna put it on back, and I'm gonna roll on my hip just a little bit. So I'm on my butt cheek, the side of my glutes. Now, I'm not flat, but I'm off my hip bone. All I'm gonna do from here, I'm gonna kind of get flat, still pulling my shoulder away from my ear. And all I'm gonna do is use my obliques to lift, tap, okay? Now the modification for this, time is going. The modification for this, all you're gonna do, you're still gonna stay on your hip. Make sure you have padding under you. And you're going to drive your knee to your chest, just like so. Just drive that knee in. So essentially, the move that gets this is the fact that this is scrunched up and I'm flexing it, and I drive my knee to my chest, and I lay it back down, just like so. Now if I really want, I can sit up and crunch into it, back down on the elbow. Off the elbow, on the elbow. On the palm, on the elbow. So that's your modification. All right guys, you've got 20 seconds left. If you're doing that modification, pause the video. Let's get as many in as you can. 10. 5, 4, 3, hold it, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. All right, if you're still going with that modification, you got 10 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. All right, let's flip over. Both sides, go ahead and start. We're gonna, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll back, get your position, and go. Remember, shoulder away from your ear, and rock in from palm up to elbow. Make sure there's a lot of padding under that hip. Woo! Woo, 15 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! All right, guys. 3 moves left. All right, we're gonna get up for this one. Go ahead, stand up. Let the blood flow go down. We're gonna go into a plank. And I will show you the modification for this as well. Modification for this will be the modification for the next one as well. All right, so we're gonna go on to a plank. So you wanna make sure you have plenty of room to roll out. And if you are on hardwood floors, I cannot caution enough how you do not freely run and just dive on your ball. I have rubber floors, so my ball's not gonna slide, but it will slide instead of roll on hardwood floors. So don't do this on hardwoods, because it will not gracefully go like that. You will slide right off. Your ball will slide up from under you. All right, so from here, graceful swan dive. We're gonna go with planks. Oh, and I should have faced the clock. All right, so this is not a plank. That's not a plank, okay? Shoulders down and back. I want to bring my shoulders over my palms. Now I'm gonna arch my back. The easiest way to get into a pelvic tilt is to do the exact opposite. And then I'm gonna curve my hips under, push my knees into the ball just a little bit, so I'm relaxing my knees, and I can walk it out as far as I want. I just want to make sure that that ball is on my knees for total support. Okay? All right, guys. I gotta face the clock. We're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, and go. Remember, shoulders under your palms, shoulders down and back. So I pull my shoulders away from my ears. You're going, by the way, time has already started. And then I want a slight scap pinch. I arch my back to start, and then I tuck into it and I hold that pelvic tilt. And I'm squeezing my glutes and my low core and relaxing my legs. I don't need my quads for this one. I put everything I have into the heel of my palm. Relax the shoulders as best as you can. This one's good for working the full front body. You have 20 seconds. Oh, and I apologize. I said I'd give you a modification, and I forgot. Save it for the next one because I'll show you what we're doing next. It'll be the modification for this move. Don't sag that back. 5, 4, 3, 2. Good. Come out of it. Nice job. All right, for this next one, you're definitely going to want a mat. I'm going to grab one. All right. These suck, by the way. I mean, they're wonderful. They're so great. All right. And this is one you're going to have to find a sweet spot for. I can tell you good form all day long, but you're going to find the right placement for you, mainly because some balls are squishier than others and some are firmer than others. Some are bigger, some are smaller. So you're going to have to find where fits you best. And the biggest thing on this one is to make sure you don't feel it in your back. This is going to be super hard to not arch your back. Stupid hard. So this is what we're going to do. I like to cross my ankles as I do it. You do not have to. I want to make sure your elbows aren't going to be on the little plug either. I've had that happen. That hurts. All right, now from here, I'm going to sit up straight. I'm going to lean forward just a little bit, relax my elbows on the ball. And I'm going to tuck my hips. Pull my shoulders down and back. From here, I'm going to walk my elbows out and into the ball. And all I'm going to do is push up just like so. And I'm tucking my hips as I go. So I'm not just casually leaning on the ball. I have my hips tucked, and I'm going to pull my elbows out in front of me. And I'm pushing my palms down into the ball, and I'm holding that plank. And I'm going to start rolling if I want to make it harder. Here, here. Now, if you can't quite keep your back straight, go ahead and go if you're doing the first one. If you can't quite, this will be your modification. You're going to round your back, so more hips than anything. And all you're going to do is keep your back rounded like this, and you're just going to rock back and forth, keeping it rounded. So as I round out, I don't become flat and arched. I keep it round, and I'm just going to roll back and forth. Roll back and forth. So middle planks. All right, if you're going on the regular planks, you've got 30 seconds left. Shoulders down and back, little rolls. Keep those hips tucked all the way. You have 10 seconds left if you're doing the regular ones. If you're doing the modification, you're going to keep going. If you're doing the regular ones, we're going to go up. Get your elbows all the way under it right now. And you're going to come up on your toes. Hold 30 seconds. Shoulders down and back, shoulders away from your ears. Push those elbows in, push your palms down, palms together. Don't arch that back. You have 15 seconds. Woo! Relax the knees. Keep those hips tucked. Push your hips towards the ball. And you'll notice you'll do that because your core will ignite like kerosene on a fire. 3, 2, 1. Nice job. All right, guys. Last core move. All right, so the last core move, we're gonna do some crunches, but we're gonna do Jessica crunches. Not thoracic spine stretch and strain my neck crunches. Lordy, lordy. All right, so here's how I'm gonna set it up. And I want you to, I'm gonna show you what we're doing first, and then I'm gonna show you you how to set it up. So this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to do a cross between a sit-up and a crunch. Okay? I'm going to tuck and squeeze, so I'm no longer arching my back. I'm going to tuck and squeeze, put my hands behind my head, cradle my neck, so I'm not tucking my chin to chest at any point. Head's back and relaxing, and I'm literally letting my hands hold my head. It is probably about 70% relaxed in my hands right now. All I'm going to do, I'm going to tuck my hips up, and I'm going to reach my chest and chin up towards the ceiling while holding my hips up. Okay? Watch my hips. They don't go anywhere. They're not moving. I'm literally just taking this up and sitting it up at an angle. So this is what I don't want to see. Okay, yeah, it does work my core. I can do that, but there's a good chance you're gonna be doing this. I don't need to do that. And also, mine's gonna work upper, mid, and lower abdominals. I also don't wanna see this. My chest comes up at an angle, but I sit my butt low. Don't wanna do that, okay? All right, so everybody, let's go ahead and set it up together. I want you to get your top of your butt on the ball, but the rest of it hangs off. You're gonna arch your back into the ball, so arch. Deep, deep arch, and then we're gonna tuck our hips, cradle the hands behind the head, or cradle the head in the hands, and I'm gonna reach my chest upwards, up, like there's an apple above me and I'm trying to take a bite, and at no point do my elbows and my chin start going towards my knees. Not a bad thing, as long as you're not straightening your neck. We're gonna do it my way. 3, 2, 1, go. This one's good for any. And I ease down, I don't flop on the ball. Look how still I am. I pull my hips up as I sit up into it. Hips up, chest up. Remember, we're pulling that angle, and the more you pull that angle, the harder it's gonna get. Keep those hips up. And the more of your back that's off the ball, the more of your butt that's on the ball, the harder it's gonna be. You have 15 seconds. Think about equally squeezing both sides of your core. Feel that burn in both sides. Keep those hips up to keep the lower abs engaged too, but mainly upper. 3, 2, 1. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are done with this workout, but we have 2 stretches left, and this is great for everyday things. Now, how I never say arch your back. Well, let me correct that statement. Never arch your back if it's unsupported. If you have a part of your back that is not on something absorbing the energy, you're going to be straining that part of your back most likely. In everyday movements, we will. So I want to make sure, I want to arch my spine. I'm going to do it on my ball. But all points of my spine are going to be making contact with the ball. This one's really good for putting you in this motion all day because we sit in this one almost all day. So I want to open up. All I'm going to do is splay my arms by my side and let my back arch to the ball. Now if you're not very stable on your ball, you want to make sure your knees are bent the whole time. But if you're comfortable with it, I want you to start to straighten your legs. And if you're comfortable with it, start to bring your arms above your head. And let your back just round to that curvature of the ball. How many times a day do we do this motion? We probably don't. We get so stuck with leaning forward all the time that when we think we're arching our back, it's really just it straightening. And this will also help distribute all that lactic acid that will be built up in the abdominals because we worked core. Arms back out by your side, open up that chest. Pull shoulders down and back. Get a good depression in there. Good, all right. And last one for stretches. Let's go into a deep flexion now. Let's round those hips, tuck those hips all the way. We'll do the exact opposite motion. We're gonna try to make the letter C. All right, so it's pretty much what it sounds like. You're just rounding to the ball. You're gonna drive your knees into the ball, not forcefully, just kind of relax it. You're gonna push your knees towards the ball. And you just want to round. I like my head closer to the ground when I do it. And you're just gonna let yourself be supported by the ball. Tuck your chin to your chest. lied. I do have one more stretch left because I know that sometimes when we do moves, if our neck is already very tight, or if we did something even one time, it can help tighten up our neck quite a bit. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a neck stretch for traps, all the way down to your SCM in here. So we're gonna get here, here, and here. All right, so first things first, hands. I'm gonna take my left hand, and I'm gonna reach my right behind, and I'm gonna grab my left wrist. So left wrist. I'm gonna pull it down. So I pull my left shoulder down. So I'm pulling my left shoulder down. I'm gonna tilt my ear to my right shoulder. So left shoulder down, tilting to my right shoulder, and I feel it all go down my neck, straight across to my shoulder. Keep pulling that shoulder down, keep tilting. Don't start turning your head or anything. Straight tilt. Now, for some people that are very tight, it might be this. Don't start turning to get deeper into it. Just sit with the stretch that you have. Everybody thinks to get into this great stretch, you need this big range of motion, and you don't. You just need to create the stretch. All right, good. From here, we're gonna tuck our chin to our chest, still leaning, tilting our head to the right shoulder, still pulling that left shoulder down. Got a good grip on my wrist. And then I'm gonna tilt it all the way back, still pulling that shoulder down, still tilting that ear to my right shoulder, all the way back, and I feel it travel to the front of my neck. Close your jaw, chin up. Good job. All right, let's do the other side. Left hand grabs right wrist. I'm gonna pull that right shoulder down. I'm gonna tilt my ear all the way to my shoulder. And let's go ahead and tilt the chin all the way to the chest, still bringing that ear to the left shoulder. And tilt all the way back. Good. Now this one I like to do sitting, and it's very good to do in the car as well. This is very good for getting between the shoulder blades, stretching out the traps. There's two things you're gonna do. Now, we naturally sit with our chin farther forward, our head farther forward, and our spine back. That's why you see your car chairs. The back will be here and the headrest is here. So it naturally sees our curvature of our neck. Now, I'm gonna show you two things. First one's to get this all stretched out. You're gonna put your hands on the back of your head. You're gonna tuck your chin all the way to your chest. And you're gonna just pull your chin down. So you give a light tug on the top of your head. Tuck your chin to your chest, and you'll feel it usually go down your back. And if you have sciatic issues and things like that, you might even feel it down your leg a little bit. And if you crawl out of bed in the morning and you do this, get in your car and do this, you're gonna feel a lot more just even tucking your chin to your chest probably if you have a tight back. And apply light pressure down. Remember, do not start to fall into it. Chest up. Tuck that chin to your chest. Good. Now this is something to do in your car. That headrest sits forward. We're gonna do a retraction of the neck. It's just double chin stretch. Essentially all you do, you're gonna pull your shoulders down and back, and then you're gonna retract your neck all the way. Don't tilt your chin up. All you do, protrude it forward, and then retract it all the way back. So you have as many double chins as possible. Think about making this all level, chin level with your throat. Think about it. All the way back. Keep your shoulders down and back. Don't start arching your back. Look straight ahead. Retract, and you'll feel it usually in the back of your neck and go down your shoulder blades as well. That is a motion we don't get enough of. And it's really good to do in your car. When you have that headrest on your back of your head, it turns into kind of a PNF stretch, proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation stretch. So a lot of times what they'll do in physical therapy, or if you go to your doctor and they do some manipulation work, they put you in a stretch and then they say push, things like that. That's what that is. So use your headrest, put your head on the back of your headrest in your car, and then retract your neck against that headrest. And it'll help set you a little bit straight and loosen up your neck. All right, guys, hope you had a great workout. If you want to hit those legs and core again, loop back through that video. All right.